Let's answer some questions about the red pill course. So Hasim said in the third module, so that is the what is the red pill. I mentioned that religious people like Christians and Muslims are more red pilled by nature. Would I say that the blue pilled modern geeks are the result of the world not being religious? I'm Muslim and 100% a lot of the red pill concepts are taught, but in strictly marriage way, not degenerate playing around. Yeah, 100%. So many religions are based and red pilled. And we can say that with the depopular depopularization, basically religion becoming less popular has meant that less people are red pilled. But that isn't all. It's also like Hollywood movies. It's also feminism that's propagated blue pill as well. In the fourth module, so red pill degeneracy, you said that a man who can't speak with women is broken. And I got a question in my mind from that. Would it be beneficial for young men to see more of alpha males and how they act and imitate them where they can do it without being cringe? For example, would it be beneficial to tell a young man who's not good at girls at all to watch James Bond and see how he acts? Even you and your stories on how you act around women, 100% they would make it look cringe because they are not you or James Bond. But in general, as time goes on, would it benefit them to see some form of masculine men and how they act with women? If so, who would you recommend the young men to watch? Asking for my YouTube channel because I want to speak about this. Basically, Hasim's asking, would I recommend a young guy who's more of like a beta to watch and imitate a guy who's more alpha? Well, yeah, of course. What do you think a father's supposed to be? The father is supposed to be like this alpha Adonis man, and the young man, the son, is supposed to look up at him, at the way that the father lives his life and polarizes his mother. And so we don't really have this. And so we do have these like reality TV shows or movies like James Bond. And certainly it is fucking cringe if like, imagine some little 15-year-old skinny kid nerd starts watching James Bond and tries to act like him. Or, there's a few of those like men's movies like American Psycho, Drive or some shit, which like little fucking loners love to watch, right? And it's cringe when a kid starts to imitate it, but it's certainly better than if he just like randomly goes about his dating life without actually having some kind of a model to copy. We learn from copying. We don't learn from learning. We learn from imitating and copying. And so this is why I like to tell stories of stuff that's happened to me. And like, I kind of show you the body language I had, the way that I said things, so that you've got the ability to kind of listen to my story and imitate it. To be honest, no really good YouTube channel. Any YouTube channel that does like this sort of cold approach shit, I've never seen one which is actually like masculine and attractive. There's a lot of those cute like cold approach channels where the guy goes up and says something like, like adorable, and he still ends up getting the number and stuff, but that's not usually how you want to come across. You can get a girl's number, fine, but when you come across as this cute, like, oh, hey, I just saw you, I go to the school as well, you end up like portraying yourself as a bit more of a chump. And there isn't many guys who would record themselves interacting with women like this. So movies can be helpful, like James Bond, or stories, or just visualize how you'd imagine a certain man to interact with a woman that he's met. Do you think Andrew Tate will start telling a self-deprecating joke? Do you think E-Man would start doing something goofy, like, I don't know, he'll just like start doing push-ups next to a girl or some bullshit, right? It's like you can see the difference when you just visualize a certain quality of man. Red Pill Strategies, Module 1, which is women's sexual strategy. I spoke about being more feminine cute or being masculine as a man. You also mentioned before that aesthetic bodies are more feminine, and you showed an example of David Lade. So why is it feminine? Because if I look at his body without his face and personality, he looks like a fucking man, doesn't he? Is aesthetics feminine, or is it the people with aesthetics that makes it more? Basically, he's asking what kind of physique is like masculine that would make you look. So for example, if we go like aesthetic body, this is definitely not feminine, but it is more feminine compared to a different kind of physique that you can build. I'll try and show you one. Like, we'll go like TikTok boy, right? This is the complete and utter like feminization of guys. They literally look almost like girls. Like, think about it, they get their eyebrow. Like, he's very attractive. If we had to rate him, genuinely, this is probably a 9 or even a 10 out of 10 guy. He's genuinely fucking really, really attractive. But he almost looks like a girl. Like, if you really look, this could be a fucking female right now. This literally could be a female. It's not. He's a pretty boy. But he's got his eyebrows done. His hair's perfectly shaped. He probably puts like shit on his lips. He probably has a skincare routine. This is like the feminization of guys where like you can see he's a very very attractive guy, very attractive, but he looks very similar to like a girl at the same time. Many of them do. Like they've got this long, cute hair. They've got like, you know, pouty lips and everything, like doing like cute little gay poses and stuff. They love this. Like this look is doing well these days. But you've got to think about what kind of girl you're going to polarize when you look like this, like a soft boy. None of these guys are going to have a beard, are they? None of these guys are going to be like stacked. They'll be lean and they'll have a six pack, but they look more like girls almost. Like they almost look like they could actually be female. So then if we look at like, let's say, masculine man, and we see the difference where we see more of a warrior look, we see thicker guys. And if I show you, for example, he said David Lade, I've made that example before. This is a guy who's got a very good physique, but it's kind of like this is kind of like what we'd call an aesthetic physique, which is like he's a lean bodybuilder, looks nice, very much looks nice, one of the best physiques in the industry. But this is more like you can build a physique like this, and I know that you'd be very happy with that. What I find that if you want to go with more of a masculine look, the CrossFit physique is a lot better, where you look thick and stocky. So, for example, if I show you like Luke from Shredfast, so I'm getting Luke to do a, let me just see if I can get some picture. I'm getting him to do a interview with us. And there's a certain kind of look where if you train in a certain way, particularly with CrossFit, you end up looking like thicker. Like it's hard to explain, but basically you get like a thicker oblique. See the waistline for these guys, they're very thick obliques. This is like the kind of guy, like if you had to fight him or David Lade, you'd choose David Lade. Of course you would. You choose the guy who's got like femme aesthetics, who's got like, you know, a nice tapered physique, and you can tell someone's been like growing their cute muscles and everything. Whereas these fucking guys look like they'd literally crush your skull with their hands, right? Big, thick motherfuckers. I think the more you look like this, the less women in general you'll attract, but you'll be attracting far more feminine girls. And it's like you want a physique more like this, thicker, oblique look, than you want a sort of cute, like TikTok boy physique. This. Now, when you're a teenager, this physique's very nice. You know, you're a skinny guy, you look attractive and stuff, fine. And it's a very good physique. But again, if you want to look more masculine, you want to look thicker than this. You want to look thicker. You want to have like, you don't want to have a slim waist. You don't want to have like this. You know, like how much does he fucking weigh? Like 140 pounds. I'd snap him in half, right? Let's say this guy's a bit thicker there. So it depends of what kind of girl you want to be attracting. Aesthetics feminine, or is it just that the people with the aesthetics that makes a man more? I don't know what you're saying, bro. Matthew said, Alpha fucks beta bucks. On the topic of the binary between being alpha and beta, I've seen videos on the internet that make a lot of sense, describing it as two bars as opposed to a single one that you have described. Most of them come from a guy called Homath, and I believe he has credibility based on his stories and the depth which he's able to describe them. Yeah, I've seen his video before. It's a good, his drawing. Oh yeah, I commented on it as well. Basically, he's done like a full-on autistic analysis of like what women like. Like this is for like fucking internet retards, basically, and it's a really good explanation. Very, very good, very good. So this is like basically girls have this attraction in a guy, like this sort of cube, where they want a guy who gives them a lot of security, gives them, you know, like the beta tendencies of, you know, providing and love, but then also makes them wet as fuck, and he's also like basically like an animal sexually, and so that moves them over to the left side. So basically, like I said in the course, you want both. You want to be, if you're just alpha, the girl will kind of be like anxious around you, and she'll just think that you're a fuck boy, and she might not even spend any time with you, especially if she's a good quality girl. If you just go full alpha mode, you can't attract any good quality girls, because they'll just kind of think like, oh, well, he's not serious. He's not like gonna be loving towards me. If you're just beta, like most guys are, if you're just blue pill and you're just looking for love, then she's not gonna get wet by you, and she won't even want to be with you. She'll be more likely to cheat with you. You need a good healthy dose of both of them if you want a great relationship. Please, could you wait a few days? Oh, sorry, bro. I feel like I'm at the stage that you were in around 2022 where you were obsessed with women. No, I wasn't obsessed with women then, bro. I can't begin to explain how similar we are in this. Hey, you don't know me, bro. Why you say, oh yeah, we're like twins, Hamza. I'm a loser too. What the fuck are you on about, bro? I was fucking making 30K a month, and like I wasn't obsessed. I was fucking, yeah, sure. I wake up and think about women until I go to sleep. Maybe if I was like fucking 2018 or something. Fine, bro. You said that one of the most beneficial things you did was semen retention and not talking to any women, basically work only mode. I've tried this and had the exact same results, had extreme work rate, felt masculine and fucked, and was so focused. After doing that for 2 to 3 weeks, I tried to add women back into my life and it went back to how it was before. Obsessively thinking about them 24/7, slacking on my goals, reserving more mental energy for women. That's easy, bro. When your mind obsesses over women, just tell your brain to like think about your goals instead. It's like, why is it a problem that your brain thinks about women anyway? It's like, yeah, congratulations, you were born as a man. I want to get more experience with women, like you explain, as part of my self improvements, but I don't want to slow down my business growth, and it feels like I'm just not able to achieve an in between. Go on a date every single week. Simple. What would you recommend I do? Would you just say fuck it and go full semen retention, similar to how you did to reap the clear rewards I would get in business? Or should I suck it up and keep women around but try to fix my scarcity mindset? Just like you said, you're really into self improvements in business. Go and see a girl for 4 hours once a week. Done. That'll improve you. That'll be a challenge for you. It'll even improve your business as well, particularly if you do any kind of like influencer social media business, because you'll be more desirable and more men will want to be you. It's a win-win. I think this is more of a cope of like, oh, it's so like distracting. It's this and this and this. You're distracted anyway. It's not that clear of like, if you're on semen retention, you're just focused and stuff. Yeah, you probably have been for a little bit, but there'll be times when you go on a date with a girl and the next day you're focused as fuck anyway. So just I think you're overthinking it. I think you've just gotten into a weird rut. I think you just need some fresh air. Go take a cold shower, because it seems to me like you're just obsessing over weird shit. And just go see a girl once a week. Like when you see a girl that you want to hang out with, just fucking hang out with her. Stop this autistic shit of like, oh, but if I like work, like, is it worth it for my self-improvement journey? Yes, it fucking is. If you're a man and you're not like good with women and you're not actively meeting women, most likely you turn into like a social autist. You can't even like speak properly anymore. Alpha fucks, beta bucks. You mentioned that when you put marbles in the beta jar, you can't get them back into the alpha jar. However, you proceeded to say, unless you disappear and come back as a new and improved man. My question was asking if that's possible for me. I cut things off with a high quality girl after she friend zoned me. Now, keep in mind that we only see each other every few months, but I realized that I was being a complete beta by texting her. So I said to her that I won't be speaking to her anymore, and message me when you come back to my estate. I have time to recreate myself into alpha male. So would I be able to polarize her? Would I be able to meet her in the future after not talking to her for a while and be a completely different man? Your whole question just reeks of fucking blue pill beta, bro. So I know you're asking, like, can I be alpha with this one girl? Basically what you're saying is there's this one girl that you're obsessed over that doesn't see you like the alpha male. Can I just like, do anything possible to try and get her? What would the real like alpha Adonis do at this point? Did you not watch the courses where the modules where I told you about the double blowjob? If you had two 10 out of 10 girls right now, would you still be thinking, oh man, when this girl comes back, she friends on me, but hopefully I might get a crumb of pussy if she comes back? Sounds to me like you're still in full beta mode. You're too obsessed over her because she was one of the few girls who was like texting you back, and you've just got complete lack of abundance, and you're a low value young man, and so you're hooked onto and obsessed over this one girl, thinking that she's amazing when actually she's probably like a 6 out of 10. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I guarantee that's the situation. Guarantee it. Now, of course, you absolutely can do like what you've asked for. You actually can. If, for example, you know a girl and then you don't really speak to her for a while, it's the summer break in school or something, you've not been texting her like a fucking Jeffrey, and you've been improving and you've been changing your self-image, then you see her, she will shit test you hard and treat you like how you used to be. But if you hold frame to this new version of yourself, you've got a chance to actually fuck her. Like I've done this before. I've gotten with girls, and I've also slept with girls that previously saw me as like a bitch, basically, because I disappeared for long enough. When you've said this, where like, oh, you told her that you're not going to be speaking to her anymore, you were texting her, it's like, right now, I don't have faith in you. No offense. I just, when a guy is like this, and also the question is one whole beta question of like, there's this one girl I've got, feelings for who doesn't even like me. How do I have a chance, Hamza? Can I be her alpha? Well, no, by asking the question, you've just proven how much of a fucking Jeffrey simp you are, right? Like, why not? There's like this fucking 500 cute girls her age who are cuter than her right next to you within 5 miles right now. And you're not even pursuing them. You're pursuing this one girl who used to text you back. So that's the problem. You've got a chance. Of course you do. But I'd say the problem is that you're obsessed with this one girl. So what I would say to you, Warren, fucking improve. change your mindset. Stop getting obsessed. Visualize the double blowjob. Keep improving. When she comes back in town, if she reaches out, awesome. If you know she's back, you can send her a message casually and see what happens. But I wouldn't be like betting on it, just because right now you reek of like Jeffrey Beta. And I don't say that to be offensive. I just wish someone fucking like broke down my wording in my post, like, years ago. This is just one example of mine that I wanted to share. I know a girl with literally 50 plus body count at age 21. She's been a slut since age 16. Her mom's also promiscuous, partying, and she doesn't see her dad. But she's had a boyfriend now for almost 2 years. Yeah, she literally built that body count in 3 years. The boyfriend went broke, lives far away, and isn't that high status. She is loyal to him. How do you explain this? There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. Like I said in one of these modules, like there'll be a girl who's a complete hoe, who takes drugs, who goes out and is genuinely faithful to her man. But why the fuck would you ever want the exception? If you respect yourself, you wouldn't be fighting for the exception. You'd want all of the favors, like all of the probability in your favor, right? So this could happen. And you said she's loyal to him. First of all, I doubt him. Her boyfriend lives far away. She's getting dicked. She's like fucking her drug dealer. Let's just be honest, right? She's definitely getting fucked right now. Let's say there's a 5% chance a girl like this is faithful, whereas there's a 75% chance or a 95% chance that a higher quality girl is faithful. Which one would you choose? The idea isn't to scavenge through doo-doo, like poo-poo, and try and think, oh, well, it's still got nutrients. The idea is to fucking work so hard that you can afford like a fine dining restaurant, right? So don't think like, oh, but there's exceptions. Like we can fucking say this about everything, bro. Come on. Like, oh, well, Hamza, well, I know a skinny guy who's really strong, and I know a big guy who's not strong. How do you explain that? Fucking exceptions to the rule, bro. It's fucking averages and ranges. It's just human nature. It's like, oh, but doctors say that you all need to sleep 8 hours, but I know someone who needs to sleep 9 hours and 10 hours. Yeah, of course, because humans are different, because there's exceptions to the rule. So there's always exceptions. The idea isn't that you should be looking at a girl and thinking, wow, there's a girl who's got everything wrong with her, but she's still behaving right. You should be looking for a girl who the odds are in your favor. And trust me when I say she probably is cheating as well. Reese said, I've started watching the course. This is a question regarding your video, the best Hamza era. You mentioned that an aesthetic physique attracts masculine women and that a thicker physique attracts feminine women. Would you say that you can have a mix of both and attracts a feminine woman? Can you also have an attractive physique, aesthetic physique, and attract a pure feminine woman? Yeah, of course. Remember that was, again, it's like a generalization. So it's like, in general, a guy with, let's say, facial hair will attract a more feminine girl because facial hair is a dimorphic trait, like it's a trait of the masculine. So you'll, in general, attract someone who's on the opposite side of the spectrum to you. So if you have muscle, in general, you'll attract a weaker woman who doesn't. Now, if you have like femme attractive, aesthetic, TikTok boy physique, you might end up attracting a feminine girl, but chances are you'll attract like one of the normie girls, 95% of women who are a bit more on the masculine side. Like these TikTok boys, I'm telling you right now, they'll be attracting, these guys here, they'll be attracting quite feminine girls without like realizing it, without you realizing it. Those girls can still look kind of beautiful, cute. They can still look hot. They've still got like, sexy TikToks and whatever, but their energy will be quite like masculine. Imagine the type of girl who is attracted to like skinny, cute guy who looks like he's like a 15-year-old, like dyke or something, compared to the girl who's going to be attracted to a guy who looks fucking thick and big. It's like a smaller, more feminine girl is going to be attracted to the guy who looks big, right? Because we're attracted in general to our polarized opposite. So can you have an aesthetic physique and attract a pure feminine woman? Yeah, of course. But let's be honest, that's a stupid question, right? That's like, well, what's the point of that question? That's like we could ask that with anything. Can you be homeless but still attract a billionaire woman? Well, yeah, I guess so. Can you be fat and disabled and be disabled from the neck down and still attract a woman? Yes. Like there's exceptions to fucking everything. The point is, we're talking about increasing our odds through probability. If you want to increase the probability to attract a feminine woman, then you want to display yourself as basically as masculine as possible. So that's like, you need to be thinking, okay, how do I look as masculine as possible, but without sacrificing general attractive traits? Like, so for example, you could look like a caveman Neanderthal, but in some ways you'll end up looking too ugly, which then will kind of lower your general attractiveness too much. So that's probably as masculine as you can look, is like look like a caveman caveman Neanderthal with the big fucking brow ridge, scars over your face. But then that's so ugly at the same time that you might not attract a good woman. That's why I'd say the meta for us guys who are actually attracting, like, who want to attract like good quality feminine women, is to try and look more like a hero or superhero rather than cute feminine TikTok boy, fuck boy with the nice jawline and stuff. And rather than looking like the sort of caveman primal man, I think the middle place of like looking like a hero, looking like a superhero is the best. Aaron said, I remember last year you didn't want to release the Alpha Male Sex course because it was degenerate. Then you went on your spiritual journey. What made you change your line? Oh, I'm not going to lie, that spiritual Hamza did not resonate with me much. It was nice, but most guys need to hear this red pill shit first. I'm so glad you changed your mind because I feel like most men in AS talk about their future wives, but they haven't even been on a date yet. 100%. Basically, I went on my own spiritual journey because, it was my fault that I was teaching it when I shouldn't have been teaching that. I was already 7 years into the red pill. I was already experienced with girls. I was already making 100 something thousand. And then I came to you guys and said like, oh guys, money's not that important, guys. Red pill's not even good, guys. It's like I had fucking done that stuff already. So it was just, I looked back at myself like, are you a fucking retard? Absolute fucking autist. You had to like I had to become red pilled. I had to make money to get to the point where I could then, pursue spirituality and shit. And I tried to like teach that shit for a year and, students weren't understanding till I realized like, yeah, because they need to go through the same fucking transformation as you. They need to go through years of red pill, years of making money, years of obsessing over muscle like I did. And so I'd realized like, yeah, of course, like my advice is fucking shit right now. So that's why I'm going way more red pill. I'm going way more just like material success, teaching the sort of basic level 1 things of like, yeah, make money, make muscle, get girls, because this is what most guys actually need. Top G's just said, just finished the course. It's mind-blowing and amazing work. I'd like to thank you for that. Thank you, bro. You've probably saved me decades of my life. Here's my questions. Alpha Fucks, Beta Bucks. Should you still make gifts for your girl? And if yes, when? In the last relationship, she told me that I didn't made her that much gifts. What about giving her clothes that you want her to wear or a piece of lingerie? Yeah, so this is a very good question. In the Alpha Fox Beta Bucks, I mentioned that gifts actually turn a woman off, especially if it's kind of like non-sexy gifts. Like if you buy a woman a car, it's so weird. It's like she literally will be less attracted to you. If you buy her something practical like a gift, like it's her birthday and you buy her like a big bag of protein powder because she goes to the gym, she'll be like, oh, wow, thank you. And it just for some reason, she'll just dry up. I wish it wasn't like that, right? So this is it. Gifts that you give to your girl, in my opinion, should be ones that you've spent a little bit of time on but not spent money on. So for example, imagine it's literally like a scrapbook where you've printed off pictures of you and her and put it together with a few nice like sentences, and you've said something joking and you've kind of like, roasted her in it, said like some like cute joke or whatever, and there's pictures of you guys. Girls fucking love that. I remember there was this one girl in university that I used to fuck, and I kind of liked her. She liked me. When we were drunk, we'd say we loved each other, but it was like a toxic love, whatever. But it was going to be her birthday, and obviously I didn't want to buy her a gift or anything, because I was so in alpha mode. But I thought, I wanted to give her something, and I literally remember that McDonald's was doing a Monopoly. Like you've probably seen the McDonald's Monopoly thing. Basically, that you'd get like little stickers from the side of your McDonald's fries or burgers or drinks, and it should give you a little prize. And one of the prizes that I had won was like a little scrapbook, like a little photo book, where I went onto the website and it let you put pictures on. So me and this girl had pictures of us in like the club. We had a few cute pictures in like the gym, whatever. So I just put that. It cost me like £1. Got it delivered. It's like a cute, like, just like literally like just a fucking little booklet of like 10 pictures. That was it. That was literally it. And I gave it to her for her birthday and she cried and said it was like the best gift that she got. It literally had the fucking McDonald's logo in the back. That same girl, a few years later, when it was her birthday, me thinking that this was a good idea, I bought her a 5 kg bag of protein powder because she started to go to the gym. And I told her, close her eyes. I got it out of my bag. And I saw the exact look of her face when she was expecting something like heartfelt or sexy or something. I just instantly put myself in beta mode of like, I spent cash on you, honey. Here it is. Here's something practical for you. And it was like, it lost all the magic. And I remember around that point was when our relationship really started to break down. She wasn't getting wet for me. I could tell she barely even wanted to be with me sexually at that point. So take that lesson and just basically make something scrappy, make something in terms of like this emotional bonding moments. Get like a picture of you guys printed off and give it to her as like a big photo album or like just a photo she can like put up on her wall or something. And yeah, buy her like sexy stuff. So stuff that's basically about your own pleasure is also cool as well. So it's like you can buy a girl like lingerie, you can take her to the store, give her your card. That's hot as well because she knows like she's doing it for you. So that's hot. It's like you're buying it. Technically, it's hers, but you'll frame it as like it's for me. Does that make sense? It's like basically it's a gift for you. When she starts saying like, "Oh my god, thank you," be like, "No, like I should be thanking you. This was a gift for me, right?" And it's like a kind of like a joke of like you bought it. She's happy. She's got a little gift. She's got something new and everything. You know, you spend a bit of money, but you don't seem like a fucking beta who's just given her something, but rather you've just kind of like given yourself something, and of course she still feels like it's a gift, so it feels like win-win for everyone. You said a scary amount of guys get cucked, so that is this module right there. If you plan on seeing her once a week, should you still call and message her every day? How are you handling this? What's the sweet spot to keep the excitement until you both meet, and what do you send her? I've sent photos and have a great day every single day, but my ex-girl started to have less and less excitements. So let's say if you have a girlfriend, then you can certainly talk to her a bit more like in a friend, where you can tell her what was, what happened in your day. Oh yeah, I spoke to Scott and, he hurt himself. And she's like, oh damn, he hurt himself. Oh, what happened? Like, so you can basically like, you can talk about details because you know each other's like family, friends, whatever, right? If it's a girl you want to increase your sex life with, you want to keep that to a minimum and think about how James Bond would message. In fact, let me read out a text message. I actually saved this screenshot. She asked me like what the plans are for traveling, and I said Amsterdam end of this month, Zurich, Switzerland in March, Singapore in April. I have work in each destination, men to inspire, hands to shake. Think about like that's a fucking sexy text that I sent to this girl, right? That's a fucking sexy, sexy text that I sent. Men to inspire, hands to shake. Here's the locations that I'm traveling to that I'll take you with me. Very, very attractive. So if there's a girl you currently want to sleep with, or for example, it's your girl and you want to like increase your sex life, you don't speak to her like she's your buddy. You speak to her like you are James Bond and you've got a mission, and you send her like powerful texts. So for example, you can wake up and send her a text of like, I'm going to conquer the day and use you as motivation. I'll inspire 1,000 men today. Some like almost like an affirmation of strength. And she's gonna think like damn, no guy's ever texted her like that before. And you text her something sexy like, in the gym training my forearm so I can choke you harder, something like that, and she's like, she starts visualizing it and shit, send her a sexy picture and stuff. Now again, if you've never seen this girl, then it's a lot harder to do this, because if you've never seen a girl, you sending her any kind of picture, selfie is just fucking gay. It's just cringe, right? Never ever send any kind of selfie if you've never seen the girl, particularly if you've never had sex with her before, because then you're that Snapchat streak kind of pussy, right? But you want to send these powerful texts which display your power, your status, and also your intentions. Basically, man's gift to a woman is that we are goal setters and achievers. And so we need to have this vision for where our life is going to go in the future. But very importantly, we need to be able to communicate that vision with our women. So I want you to think about your big goals, what your life is going to look like, and then inspire your woman and tell her how fucking awesome it's going to be. Tell her that's the direction, that I'm going to the top. 1 year from now, I'm going to be this. I'm going to do this. I'm working relentlessly on this. I'm going to have this. And it inspires the girl to think, fuck me, like he's actually doing something with his life. I want to be a part of that. I want to get onto this train. Should you still message your girl, have a great day? No, I personally don't believe you should send anything which is basic, basically. So never ever say, how are you? Because it's a stupid waste of time. Never say, hey, have a great day, because it's a stupid waste of time. Say something which is similar, but way more inspiring. These are just stupid questions that people say when they can't think of anything else. Say something inspiring of like, I'm going to conquer the day. A year from now, this is like, the goal I'm going to achieve. This is where we're going to be in life, and I'm going to bring you with me. That's inspiring. She doesn't get like, you say, have a great day, babe. You just sound like a fucking normie. You sound like an average guy. Congratulations. A complete and utter fucking Jeffrey can text her that. She doesn't need you for the have a great day. How are you? She has got Jeffrey fucking beta males asking her that. That's fine. You ask her questions and you tell her things which are powerful, which are emotional. Don't just fucking text like a normal guy. And then being an alpha, should you share things from your past that you don't want to tell her? No. If you don't want to tell her something, don't tell her. And what if she insists? How do you tell her that you won't tell it? Again, it's like you can play around with it. You can it's kind of like the shit test module where you can look at her directly and confront her and say, no, we're not going to talk about that. You can also play with it and kind of swerve past the question. That's the way that I would often do it. Isn't lying a bad thing if it's for a serious relationship? Don't lie, just don't answer. If there's something that's going to harm her, the relationship, if she's asking a stupid question of like, oh, so you've been sleeping with loads of girls before me, or whatever it is, it's like sometimes girls will literally just like, people will just ask questions which they don't even want to know the answers to. So you're actually saving her from that. I've maybe done the mistake of telling her everything, and I don't want to do that anymore. But I also don't want to have this shame and guilt of not telling the truth. Yeah, I mean, that's like beta conditioning. You should, I tell my girlfriend everything. They've shown you that in Hollywood movies and TV shows. The good boyfriend always tells his girl everything. The guy who she gets wet for doesn't, so choose which one you want to be. Should you tell your girl that you love her? Yes. If yes, how are you doing it? By saying I love her. Come on. Especially if she isn't there because you can't be physical. My ex told me that I never tell her that I love her. Yeah, well, when you feel like, basically, don't be autistic. When you feel the love that you have for her, tell her. That's it. Sometimes like it's autistic where like she'll say that she loves me and I won't really respond because I just don't really, I don't really feel it right there. Fine. And she's kind of upset, whatever. Oh, say it back, like whatever. But it's, yeah. When you feel it, then fucking say it. Especially when you're having sex, you'll feel it a lot. So say it like 50 times. Like one of the things I didn't say in this, but I should have, is I compliment a girl, like, when it's authentic, whatever. But when I'm having sex, that's when I really say nice things. That's when I'll literally every few seconds, I'll say, I love you, you're this, you're beautiful, you're so sexy, you're this, you're this, you're this, saying it all the time. Obviously, I'm making like fucking primal noises and shit as well. But like, I give a lot of compliments like mid-fuck because it's like a good, I don't know, it's like a good like behavior, to kind of, I don't know how to explain this, but basically if you say loads of nice things whilst you're having sex, she'll crave that moment more because you've made her more happy, more connected. And so she'll want to have sex with you more, basically. Talk less. Won't high quality women resent you if you ignore them on purpose and not reply for a few hours or days? When did I say don't reply for a few hours or days on purpose? If you're busy, awesome. Good. Done. If you're not busy, and you're playing any kind of fucking texting game where you're not replying fast to something because you're a beta male and you're pretending to be an alpha, that's just cringe. Basically, just reply when you fucking want to. It's as simple as that. Most of like questions young men have is all just autistic. It's like, when should I reply? Like, when you want to, bro. What the fuck? Like, why are you overthinking it? It's like, I woke up at about 3 a.m. I've not replied to anyone. I've got multiple messages on my phone. I've not replied to anyone. Why? Because I'm in deep work mode. When deep work mode has ended, I'm going to go on my phone and reply to everyone. Now imagine if I went on my phone and noticed that a girl has just replied to me 1 minute ago. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to reply anyway because I'm on my fucking phone. I'm not going to sit there and think, oh, well, I was going to reply, but she's only sent me a message 1 minute ago and she waited 7 hours, so I'll wait 12 hours because I have a dick, basically, because I have a massive cock and I don't have like this fucking small PP mindset that I'm going to calculate what fucking time she sent her, so I'll double it or something. I'm going to like purposely ignore her or something. I never said to purposely ignore a girl on purpose, purposely ignore a girl on text, bro. Is this only applying to the dating stage to ignore? Where the fuck have you got this idea to ignore a girl? Did you watch the course, bro? Where the fuck did I ever say like ignore the girl? Yeah, talk less. That doesn't mean to like ignore her. Like I said, ignore her. If she says some bullshit, yeah, ignore it, fine. But in terms of like texting or something, it like, yeah, you said like not replying for hours. I didn't fucking say that. I don't know what cringe video you've seen that from. Like, oh, don't ignore. I've never fucking said that shit, bro. What if it's more serious? Basically, bro, turn your brain off. Text her when you want to. That's simple. Don't fucking overthink it. Competition anxiety. Does having female friend healthy? My ex-girl didn't want me to have male friends, and was even mad when I told her that a girl I liked wished me she doesn't want you to have female friends, I'm assuming. If I don't allow her to have male friends, is this a double standard? Yeah, in some ways. Double standards don't exist. That's not a word you should ever use in a relationship, because like, why would you have the same standards for both man and woman when we are very different? So forget the word double standard and just think about, okay, rules that you want to have for her, rules that she wants to have for you. In general, the more alpha you are, the less rules that she will set for you, and also the more rules that you can break, and she'll stay and she'll be absolutely fine with, even though she'll pretend to be upset. Is having a female friend healthy? like it's like competition anxiety. Like I mentioned inside of that course, it will cause negative emotion inside of her, but she's going to experience negative emotion today anyway for basically no reason. So you may as well have her experiencing the negative emotion of the sort of dread that's built up where she literally feels more of a subconscious pull to fuck you rather than the suffering of the boredom of realizing that she's with a chump. So is having a female friend healthy? Well, yeah, it depends on the girl and stuff. It depends, like, are you getting too close to her? Are you cheating? You don't want to cheat? Are you like flirting with this friend? You don't want to do that if you're in a relationship. Do you have like female friends that are kind of like not really real friends, but they kind of like, they're in your social group that you sometimes talk to? I think that's fine. And I think that's actually quite healthy for a girl to have that, like dating a guy, because she'll just take you more seriously. She'll take you like she'll look at you more like a fucking Chad, like an alpha male. And that's probably what you want. Do you think your temptation to get other women comes from the fact that you fucked a bunch of girls before and thus you now need more sexual variety? When I was a virgin, I still had the same, even more, to be honest. The certain guys just have the desire for lots of women. What I realized is I thought it was like testosterone or power. It's not really. Certain guys just have this innate desire for more, and other guys are actually like really good with just one. Like, for example, my brother's really good with his wife, and of course, he'll get desires and stuff, but he's developed a lot when he's just gone into this one committed relationship. And obviously we were both raised in the same way. Whereas for me, when I get into a relationship and when I'm especially close with my girl, it's like my life kind of like goes downhill. I start losing a lot of zest for life when I just have one girl. And so it's something we have to consider, is what kind of man are you? It's not so much that just like, oh yeah, I've got high testosterone, so I want more girls. I'm a big guy, so I want more girls. I think every man has like his own kind of need for a certain amount of attraction from girls and his own desire and wants. How do you stop thinking about your future wife and actually think about work? I was 100% mind work focused, but after breaking up, I find myself thinking every day about my future wife at night. It's simple. So when you get a thought about like a girl and you don't really want to, just bring your thoughts back to your goals. It's almost like meditation, where when you lose your focus, you breathe again and you bring your focus back to your breath. Meditate on your goals. So every single morning, I will wake up thinking about sex. Every single morning, right? I think about fucking. But I manually, like just before my alarm goes off, I manually kind of start thinking about my goals instead, and I start visualizing that. So imagine that. I wake up thinking about fucking, and I'll manually think about the moments that I've uploaded a video and it's got loads of views instead, because I'd prioritize that. I don't know if it's good, and I wonder if you have the mindset to get rid of this. I don't find the double blowjob working at the moment. It's working well to stop one-nighters and scarcity, but not the visualization. Yeah, just switch the visualization to your goals. Nice comment, man. I appreciate all those. Question. You said that women would rather a guy that have fucked 1,000 girls over a guy with zero experience. Sounds very familiar to Fresh and Fit, fuck 50 before marriage. So what should I do? That was a bit of like an offhand kind of comments. Like not so much like it's hard. Like don't fucking summarize stuff like that. So basically I was mid explaining something, and I said, in terms of, I didn't say women would rather want a guy. I said, in terms of a woman's sexual pleasure, she will receive more pleasure from a guy that's very experienced and has had sex with 1,000 girls than a virgin. So don't fucking like twist my words there. I said women would have more pleasure with a guy that's obviously had thousands of hours of sex compared to a guy that's not had any, of course, right? So what should I do? I'm barely getting any matches. A cold approach maybe a couple of times. Should I just increase the volume and get as much experience as possible with every part of dating? Like I've said, it's like you don't want to get experience in casual sex because that's a bit of a cope. You want to go and just like go be with girls you like, go speak to girls you like, go on dates with girls you like, even go sleep with girls you like. But don't see it as like, oh yeah, I'll go fuck like the easiest, like, Jessica to get practice for my future wife, because it's you're doing that as like a fake cope. That's like the same as saying like, oh, I'll watch porn because it increases testosterone. No. Say you're a bitch. Say you've got like a bad habit and just fucking deal with it. Don't like fucking pretend it's productive. So just literally don't autistically think about like, oh, do I need experience or not? Again, most of men's problems with dating is just autistic thinking. It's like, stop thinking of this as like, oh, I need practice, and start thinking of this as like, if you meet a cute girl who's fun to be around, spend more time with her. If you end up having sex, awesome, nice, congratulations. Don't think of this as like, oh, I need to go and like, get my 1,000 girls, because Hamza mentioned that women might find that more attractive. It's like you're overthinking a little bit there. And what should you do? Just fucking do more, get more attractive, get more matches, cold approach more, improve your social life. The reason why you're not getting any matches and the reason why cold approaching doesn't seem to be going well, you probably live an absolutely boring life because you're an attractive guy. guy, you got a very nice physique. You're probably boring as fuck. No offense. You probably are boring as fuck. Like, what's the fun thing that you've done recently? What fun thing would a girl like to have joined in the last week? Tell me five. Tell me five fun things you did in the last week that a girl would have actually genuinely enjoyed, like one of these hot girls. Did you go to a fancy restaurant which has like this place where you can take pictures for Instagram? Did you? Did you go and do like this influencer workout with a couple of like fun girls and guys and do something fun together? Did you go on a hike with people from your gym? Or did you just wake up, do your school/work, go to the gym, and then come home and consume content? The reason why you struggle with girls is because you're boring as fuck. 9 times out of 10. Another question. Going through the course right now, I love how enthusiastic Hamza is when he's explaining shit, coming up with new ideas. Halfway through, act like an alpha male part, I stood up and yelled, motherfucker, because he's 100% right, undoubtedly, and I held back like a fucking idiot. Yeah. Until my whole, yeah. What you said, when you said you read books that says you should inflict pain, like pulling her hair and biting, what books did you read? The Enlightened Sex Manual. Let me write this down. Enlightened Sex Manual by David Data. Basim said, I'm building my aesthetic physique and I've made good progress. Yesterday in the video, Hamza's Best Era, he said that aesthetics will make you attract more masculine women and the thick kind of physique will attract you more feminine women. In the red pill, you said that the V-taper is important, so I'm confused. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe I didn't explain it well, but there seems to be a lot of guys who are confused with that. Let me just explain this clearly. I'm going to guess there's like 4 more comments about this exact same thing. Muscle is always going to be nice. Don't be a fucking huge roided bodybuilder, but being in shape, being lean is always going to be nice. This was like an advanced level. I shouldn't have even mentioned it because I do this bad habit, which is no offense to the guys who are watching this, but I talk about something I've realized and I specifically fucking say it to you motherfuckers, you fucking retards. I always say this is something I've just realized for me, for myself, that this is where I'm at with my developments, being advanced in this journey. And then all you fucking retards start saying, oh, well, Hamza, you said this to us. Like, what I'm saying to you is fucking different from what I need to implement, dickhead. Like when I make the beginner's YouTube course, the amount of guys who were like, oh, but Hamza, if you use editing, like, why would you? It's like, bro, because I'm making it for like advice for you. My problem is if I say something on the internet, people will automatically think, oh, okay, so that means that I should do it too. When I clearly sometimes state, oh, this is what I'm doing. So I've built up cute feminine aesthetics before where I look lean and I've got a nice jawline and I take a little pouted picture. And I've noticed that I generally attract more masculine, like, you know, not completely masculine, but like more masculine girls like that compared to those times when I've got a bit more of this like thicker, stocky look and I look more of like a rugby player. And I seem to attract smaller girls, like smaller height, smaller body weight, like tiny girls. I seem to attack like they almost look at me like a big fucking caveman daddy. And that's probably the better, at least for me, that's more attractive, right? So I mentioned this as like, oh yeah, this is something that I've experienced. And motherfuckers are like now thinking like, oh, you should change it. Basically, stop overthinking, get into the fucking gym and just lift some fucking weights and build some muscle, right? Stop overthinking it. If I've recently said, okay, I've been training for 9 years, this is how I'm going to change my training slightly to align with my newest goals, that doesn't mean that you should fucking do it too. If you're like, let me see, you're probably like what, 1 or 2 years into lifting weights, bro, shut up and just fucking go to the gym, man. Just go gym. What are you on about? You don't need to know like fucking like advanced tactics or anything. I was explaining like, oh, that's what I'm currently going through, and like there's fucking 4 guys in this one fucking post asking me like, oh, but Hamza, 3 years ago you said the aesthetic for, yeah, for you, motherfucker, for you. Look at my fucking bicep size, bro. Look at it. I've already got the fucking muscle, dickhead. So if I tell you I'm changing my workout routine, doesn't mean that you should. Once your biceps look like fucking this, when you've had a 6-pack for like 7 years straight like I have, then you can consider starting some advanced fucking tactics and, you know, like different kind of styles of training, whatever. But for now, just fucking build the muscle, man. Whatever workout you want to do, you want to use machines, compound fucking kettlebells, fine. Just build the muscle. Stop overthinking. The V-taper is always going to be attractive. The V-taper is always needed. Basically, have wide shoulders, have wide lats, always. The difference is, do you want to look like a slim bodybuilder who goes to the gym and does like fucking you know, TikTok boy workouts where you're doing leg extensions and cute stuff like that, where you've got like nice muscle definition, but you're fairly small? Or do you want to look like more of a stocky rugby player kind of look? Because there really is like a difference in the muscle that's built. Like if we go like lean bodybuilder, like natural, these are guys who train just for like kind of aesthetic lean, and then they look very good. I think the TikTok boys is really the best thing. Where these guys are like skinny lean. I'll find you another one again. kind of like this, where he has a very good physique, right? That's still like top 1% physique, right? This is good for like 16-year-old girls that are quite masculine these days. They like a guy who looks almost like a twink, like a gay kid who let me find you another one. They like that these days. And again, it's like if you want to attract that kind of girl, by all means, when you look like you can be snapped in half by another man, is a really cute, small, feminine, submissive girl going to be as attracted to that compared to, let's say, like stocky rugby player? Or let's go like big. I don't want it to be fat, like big muscle rugby player. What kind of women is this fucking guy going to attract? Do you reckon like a masculine girl's, like in general, like of course there's exceptions, but do you reckon a masculine girl's gonna get with him, or do you reckon it's gonna be like some girl who's feminine as fuck? Same, like if we find some guys like thick looking fucking, like these are like primal looking guys, right? So in general, of course, it's not always that clear, but in general, a more feminine girl is going to prefer a bigger, like more kind of stocky, manly look compared to the TikTok. That's why they call them TikTok boys. They don't call them TikTok men, do they? So if you want to go for more of the TikTok boy aesthetic physique, you'll attract younger girls, and in general, they're more feminist, they're more liberal, they're more masculine. They've all gone through the education system. They've all got like careers that they want to work on. By all means, go and attract those girls. But if you want more of the girl who's like maybe a little bit older, she's 18 to 21 years old. She's not a feminist at all. She's way more feminine. She wants to basically be a housewife. She's looking for a man who symbolizes more strength and more dominance, more testosterone. You want to have like a different kind of physique. Like for example, what TikTok fucking boy do you think is like training neck 5 times a week, traps? Like you train different muscles. These guys are all going to the gym doing normal stuff, bench press, whatever. But they're not going to be training like fucking like look at his skinny ass neck. He's got a really nice physique, good amount of muscle mass, but they're not going to be training like certain muscles like neck and traps, which will make you look more masculine. But they don't want to look more masculine. They want to have this like femme aesthetics. That's why they've all got like really cute hair and everything. They get their eyebrows done, all of that, because they know what kind of girl they want to attract, which is in general a more masculine girl. In the alpha fucks, beta bucks part of the course, so far I hate women, so it's pretty good. Where exactly does masculinity come into play when we're talking about alpha and beta? People say that providing and taking care of your woman is the most masculine thing a man can do, but clearly not when it comes to biology, since you're putting marbles in the beta jar. What the fuck is masculinity? There's this, yeah. So basically, people say providing and taking care of your woman is the most masculine thing. That's because masculinity is now defined by your service to women. Basically, the feminist nation, like the era that we're currently in, has bastardized what masculinity really is to make it seem like masculinity is a slave to the feminine, when it's the kind of like the opposite way around. And not even exactly, but like you get my point. Basically, don't listen to the modern narrative that like, oh, a real man takes care of like someone else's kid. A real man will look after a woman who's not even sleeping with him. No. A real like primal man wouldn't do any of that shit. Basically all of the real men are in prison. They're all rapists, they're all murderers. They're the actual real men. When you really think about it, it sounds fucked to say, but really, who are the real alpha males in the modern day? Really think about it. They literally are the guys in prison, right? So if you're a real, genuine, hardcore alpha male, you're a rapist, you're a murderer, because that's exactly what the alpha males are biologically supposed to be like. So nowadays, you don't want to just be an alpha male who gets put into prison because that's just stupid. You want to be kind of like an intellectual alpha who, for example, you're not going to go rape a woman, you're not going to go punch someone in the face and crush their skull with a rock, but you're going to take the best traits of alpha male behavior, which doesn't land you in prison. So it's like the intellectual alpha is like the meta, kind of like why I say Adonis is powerful. He's the tribe leader. He's taking down the beasts and stuff. He's like killing enemies and stuff. But at the same time, he's the tribe leader. He's looking after his people. So it's like you've got to play the game. You can't go full testosterone primal caveman mode these days. So people say this bullshit, but that doesn't matter. That's just what people are trying to spin masculinity. These days, masculinity is defined as basically like being a good boy towards women. It's bullshit. Go and read this book right now, The Way of Men. Go and read this book. And the first few chapters talks about this as well. Does this give it a new definition, or do we have to take the L when it comes to dating in the modern world? Yeah, it's a bit fucked because basically you're kind of reinforced and rewarded if you do beta behaviors. But again, primal biology does not lie. They might, a woman might say like the most masculine thing you can do is send me money and look after my children, which I had with another man. She's not going to get wet for you if you do. Now you might still do that because, for example, like for your benefit, and it kind of like hurt for hers. But really think about it. You might still, for example, give your woman money because you don't want her to work full time so that she can be a full time mother, and that's actually a benefit to your purpose. That's like a smart decision to make. That it doesn't make you a beta male, but it's certainly like it will add to that thing of like, okay, you're providing, and providing is more of the beta tendency than the alpha. People, if I asked, like the internet and said like, is providing for your woman an alpha or a beta trait, everyone would say alpha, because they like basically male like behavior has been so bastardized that like people like think it's being acute, like being a good man. Nobody gives a fuck about good men. The kind of man you want to be is the man who's good at being a man, a man who's good at sort of primal masculinity, but also is strong and intelligent enough to overcome the limitations of the modern world, like, aligned with testosterone and shit, right? Basically, don't fucking go out hitting people, raping women, doing any of that shit, but keep up as much of the non-illegal alpha tendencies as you can. Go and read the book The Way of Men by Jack Donovan. That'll really help. This is a very good question as well. Keto said, how do you navigate staying with about your purpose and goals whilst trying to get women? Is there like a mentality of ignoring them at certain points? I always seem to become too obsessed over a girl, even if I don't know her that well. Then when I work out, I'm just not. Bro, this should have been like 3 sentences, bro. I've got no idea what the fuck you're asking me. Basically, like, how do you stay on your purpose? You always seem to get obsessed over a girl. If I don't know her that well, then when I work out, I'm just not focused. Yeah, just literally, it's just meditation. It's like when you find yourself distracted for any reason, particularly with women, just bring your focus back to the present moment. Bring your focus back to what you'd rather think about. Just like with meditation, you wouldn't be pissed off if you were meditating and you randomly got a thought, right? Because that's the point of meditation. This is the point of life. It's just brain. It's like you just are doing something and your brain thinks about something else. The skill of meditation is to just bring your brain back to what you wanted to think about. So the next time you're in the gym and you're distracted because of a girl, just bring your focus back to the workout. It's as simple as that. And guess what? Within a second, it'll go again back to a girl. Bring it back to the workout again. It's simple as that. Just keep bringing it back to the thing. And every single time you bring it back, it's like you've just gained like 5 experience in the meditation skill. In my country, there is a law that states that if you live with your wife in the same house for 2 years, you become common law married, even if you don't want to get married. So if she leaves you, she's still entitled to half your money. If you don't want to get married, is there any way around this? What's your advice if I want to live with my wife but not get common law married? Yeah, I'm not too sure about this, but I think we've got this in the UK as well. Basically, if you get married, you're putting half your net worth at risk. If you don't get married, but you live with your woman in the same address for 2 years, technically the law will treat you like you're married anyway. Again, this is just a finesse. This is just to like leech off men. She can live with her parents in the eyes of the government, but if you're in a relationship for less than 2 years, you should definitely not be worrying about it, G. I honestly don't know what advice to give. Maybe some guys who are a bit older than me are still in Adonis school. They can like say this, because I think that's a tricky situation. If you constantly move around and like technically you've like been moving addresses and stuff, I think that's fine. But it's tricky, isn't it? So if you're gonna have children with her, and if you're gonna live with a woman and get really close to her, at that point it's like you are tying your life to her. So you better make sure she's a good quality woman. You better make sure she's got a good family. I can't give you more than that at the moment because I don't know. How is it that there is a feminine nerd looking man, like a really stereotypical nerd, awkward as fuck, and he has a girlfriend which he supposedly fucks that is a feminist and whatnot? Is that relationship going to fail? Is he going to end up like a 40-year-old sexless chump, or is it going to stay normal? What do you mean? Well, yeah, no, that's exactly what I would have expected. The softer a man is, like the more of a TikTok boy you look like, the more likely your girlfriend's going to be a feminist. And the more of a Chad intellectual alpha male you look like, the more likely your girl is going to be feminine. So yeah, that's exactly what I would have expected. I can tell that old gold Hamza is back, gains in money and sex. Yeah, 100%. I'm glad to be back in this fucking this season because I've realized like even I slacked on the red pill shit and I was slacked on like business stuff and I was in this bullshit fucking spirituality. I'm a hugger bullshit and I was like, it's just boring, bro. I miss being a winner. I miss fucking just going out there and being confident as fuck and everything. So I'm definitely fucking back on this shit. I've been reading the red pill every day. I've been like like remembering posts and shit. Like talk less. I'd say I'm naturally pretty good at what you were talking about in this module. I'm introverted, but I've always been scared of asking a lot of questions and letting her do the talking. I feel like that would make me come across as desperate and overly invested into her, which would then make me not attracted. Okay, so basically you understand that you want to talk less, but you're scared that if you ask too many questions, you'll seem too desperate. It depends, like you could do, right? But I think seeming desperate and over-invested isn't about the words that you say. It is literally about the intention you have. If you are desperate, whether you say a lot of stuff to her or you don't, it will come across. So for example, I don't think this is about saying less or anything. I think this is just about your energy. If you're really needy, whether you literally say anything to her or not, she's going to be able to tell, right? You can tell when someone's needy, even if they don't say anything to you. A girl can tell. He'll keep looking. His body language, his primal kind of subconscious body language will just show. So don't think that like if you talk too much or talk too little, you'll appear as desperate or not. It's like they'll know what your emotions are inside. So if you're not that emotionally invested because you barely met this girl before and you're not even desperate and you're just a normal confident guy, or let's say you're like not that confident, but you're kind of introverted, but or whatever, you can just like speak to human beings. When you ask a question, it won't come across as needy because you're not needy. So there's guys who will come across as needy because they are needy, and there's guys who won't because they're not. It's not about the question. I hope that makes sense. Alpha Fox Beta Bucks. When I had a girlfriend, I would sometimes buy her a little gift, but there would be times when I wouldn't, and she would confront me about it, giving me attitude and asking mad. What should I have done about that? That she was definitely testing. Yeah, it depends. Do you want to be with a girl who's like that? How does she see you? Because I'd only want to be with a girl who sees me as the gift. My time is the gift. My presence and my love is the gift. If you need to buy your girl something and she's pissed off if you don't, maybe that's not a very high quality girlfriend. Because what I've found is the highest quality girls, they literally think your time is the gift. That's it. Like they literally will thank you for messaging them. That's how much like these are high quality girls, respectful girls who actually are really into you, who've got this huge desire for you. They'll thank you when you message them. Think about that. They'll thank you when you agree to like go on a date with them. Now, again, you're probably not at this level because you need to be at a high level for this. But that's the level you can get to when a girl literally thinks the gift is your time. Women think that the alpha male's time is a gift. Women think that the beta male's money is a gift. You want to choose like which gift you want to be known for. The alpha male, like the way that I give gifts as like an alpha is basically I give like stuff that's got loving sentimental value, but that is free. So I'll go and do something powerful. I'll go and lead 100 men up the UK's biggest mountain. And at the top of it, there'll be a pebble or a seashell or some shit that's there. And I'll bring that down for my girl and I'll say something like adorable and cute to her that I was leading these men and I spotted this and I thought of you. And she's there like a sweet little cat and she's like melting in my arms thinking it's so sexy, it's so cute. Though same time, if I go gift the same girl like $3,000 bag or something, she's going to be like, oh yeah, thank you, it's so good. Looking at me almost like a little bit weird, like you can subconsciously test that. I really hope I never, ever, I'm going to try and remind myself, I never buy a girl a gift, even for birthdays, Valentine's Days, I don't give a fuck, bro. Never, ever. Because the effect you think it's going to have, it doesn't actually have. It does not have that. Get them something sentimental. It's fucking Valentine's Day and you give her a rock. And I'm telling you right now, the girl who really is into you, she's going to like that 100 times more. And the girl who's not was going to be pissed off anyway. She's either going to be pissed off because you're a chump who bought her something, or she's going to be pissed off because you didn't buy her anything anyway. So you know how a girl sees you how she responds to the kind of gift that you buy her. Just watched Passing Shit Test. I've got a couple of questions. Could you explain how to cold approach or make a module on it, please? Yeah, I could do. I mean, there's so many videos like that, bro. I think I've explained it like on and off inside of the modules. Just fucking like walk up to a girl and just say something. Honestly, you don't need like extra advice than that. All you need to hear is like every thought in your mind is just bullshit. They're not real reasons. She's got her headphones in. She's this, she's this, she's this. She's far away. She's with her friends. She's with a guy. None of that. None of that. None of that. All excuses. Turn your brain off. Just walk up to her, get her attention with a hand like this and say something with like fucking simple of like, oh, I just saw you doing that workout. My name is Alfie. It can be that simple. You can literally walk up to a girl. You don't even have to say anything. Just say like, I'm Alfie. I just wanted to speak to you. That simple. You don't have to, like the primal attraction. If she's attracted to you, it'll be obvious straight away. Like she'll be continuing to speak to you. If she's like looking at you a little bit weird, hold frame and just say like, I wanted to speak to you. See her response. That's about it. Honestly, at that point, it's like you're in the middle of a conversation. The only advice that I'd give you, which you need without overthinking, is like literally just command your legs to walk towards her and just fucking say one word to her. If you say that, you're in 100%. You've made some progress there. That's it. You don't need more advice than that. Command your legs. Any excuse that your brain has told you is complete and utter bullshit. Oh, she's with her friend. She's got headphones in. Doesn't matter. Whatever excuse you could use, like she's got headphones on. I'm telling you right now, I fucked a girl with that exact circumstance. So how does that make you feel? There's another guy who saw her with her headphones on. She sat there with her other female friend. He went up and she deep throated him that same night. So any excuses that you use, they're completely bullshit. Just walk your legs towards her, bro. How can we apply the red pill in school when we aren't talking to any women right now? Just talk to women then, bro. I might be overthinking, but cold approaching in school can be scary and risky. I would say like don't even see it as cold approaching. Just see it as like just talking to people. So you might think, okay, so you walk into school and everyone's got their own social little groups, right? It's not hard to actually connect them together. It's just that you're a coward. Most guys in school, most guys in general, are just so fucking cowardly that they're so scared of basically like doing something which is seen as a little bit different for yourself. So why don't you just go into school, talk to a couple of your friends, tell like, some kind of story so you're hyping up a little bit, and then just speak to the girl next to you and literally say like, oh, hello, Natalie, how was your weekend? It's as simple as that. Why is that so scary? Like, I appreciate that you told the honesty here, because I'm being honest as well. Like, I would have been scared of this, right? But when you get a bit older, you're like, holy fuck, like how cowardly are men these days? Like, we used to be sent off to war, bro. We used to be sent off to war, and here we are, like there's a girl next to you, and you try to like not even move your eyes towards her unless she's looking away. Then you like kind of look at her from the back, like, what the fuck? Just fucking say something. Don't see it as cold approach. Don't directly go up to a girl that you've never spoke before or anything. Be in a social mood because you've been speaking to your friends, because you've got stories to tell and you're a funny guy, and then just speak to the girls next to you. Invite them into the conversation. So you ask your friend like, oh, have you done the homework? And he says no, and be like, oh yeah, no one's done the homework. And you go, Sophie, have you done the homework for science? And she goes, yeah. I'd be like, really? I think you're the only girl who's actually done it, And she's like, no, everyone else has done it too. I'd be like, oh, go on, let me cheat from you. Just have like a casual conversation. It's not that difficult. I don't want to gain a bad reputation in school. This is that same excuse bullshit. Take that out of your brain right now. But without cold approaching, it would be extremely difficult to speak to girls that I find attractive. Don't cold approach, just speak to them. There you go. How worried should we be about getting falsely accused? No, not much. I remember there was a time when I was very worried about it, and I think I've told the story. Yeah, but basically, don't. It isn't exaggerated that much because it happens like kind of often. Like, it's hard to explain. It's like kind of asking like, how worried should I be about getting stabbed? It's really hard to explain. What kind of life are you living? Are you going out to parties and clubs? Are you sleeping with DGen girls? If you're a random guy and you're like scared to talk to girls in school, bro, you shouldn't be worried. Like, you're fine, bro. You should be like taking as much of this bullshit away and just focusing on speaking to girls. You should be risking it more. There's a guy who, for example, is watching this, who's a fuckboy, who goes out and sleeps with girls who are kind of drunk and stuff. He needs to be fucking paying attention to this shit. He needs to be not crossing like the line with taking advantage with a girl who's been drinking and everything, right? So if you're a kid in school and you're barely even talking to the girls, it's like, how the fuck are you even worried then? Don't even think about it. Please, could we have a bit more explanation on holding frame when a girl gives you some sort of objection, looking at you as if you're ugly? I imagine a scenario where I approach a girl in school and she looks at you weird, then responding in a cocky/funny way. You made a joke about it. It sounds cringe, but it's just for example. You look like you've seen something disgusting. Yeah, you. Could you reflect that and insult her back? So often, if you like in school, I wouldn't want to reflect it back, because if a girl says something mean to you and you reflect it back, that bitch is going to start crying or getting annoyed, and she'll start telling the teacher even though she said it first, right? I can imagine that happening in school. So you don't want that kind of dynamic. Just be like, I wouldn't go like cocky and funny doesn't need to reflect it back, and it doesn't need to be insulting. So be like, that's the you know, that's how my ex-girlfriend used to look at me when we first met as well. So I think you're falling in love with me. You know, just play around with it, man. Don't you don't need to overthink it, and you don't need to like reflect it back and start saying, yeah, but you're actually ugly, you stupid whore. Like don't fucking randomly insult her or anything, right? And don't even jokingly insult a girl that you barely know as well, because sometimes they'll take it in the wrong way, even though you say it as a joke, and then it's this awkward thing where she's getting proper angry and you're thinking like, should I still hold the frame right now? Like, so just say nice fucking things, and then just say like jokey, like sort of whatever authentic joke comes to mind. In general, just believe that you are hot shit, believe that you are attractive, because the truth is 75% of the girls you speak to won't believe it, but who gives a fuck? 25% of them will. And they're the 25% that you weren't going to get anyway if you didn't have this belief. So you may as well. That means that 1 in 4 girls you approach with the cocky idea that I am hot shit, I am attractive, I'm sexy, I'm desirable, 1 in 4 will literally agree and just believe it because you did. So you may as well just hold frame to that. Hamza, you said that being mysterious, not talking a lot is attractive, but it makes her wet, and I agree with you 100%. I already knew that from your old videos, but while I was watching the course, a thought popped in my mind. If I keep being mysterious and every time she asks me what I'm doing, I say something like guess or something similar, she would grow tired of it and eventually cheats because I can't trust her with my work. Nah, I don't think so. Like, if you get into a serious relationship, then yeah, of course, she's going to start to know the things you do with your life. But you never want to appear common. So, like, this to me, like, I don't know why your brain is just like catastrophized straight away of like, oh, she'll cheat on me, bro. Oh, like, no. Stop being a bitch. Stop being a bitch. Like, don't just randomly project into the future. Maybe she'll cheat more if she realizes you're a fucking chump who just does the same things every day and she doesn't have a fantasy of you anymore. How about that, right? So don't like just randomly project into the future without any kind of real data points and think, oh yeah, well, she'll cheat if I use this tactic. If we reasonably look through it and think, every time she asks you what you've done, you don't just always say guess because that's just boring, but you change it around. Sometimes you tell her a little bit of the truth. When you've done something really fucking fun, then you tell her the truth and you hype it up and you say you have had an amazing day and stuff. Sometimes you just, like, if you didn't do anything fun, you don't tell her like, oh yeah, I just basically woke up and watched self-improvement YouTube videos. That will never fucking help you. She'll be more likely to cheat on you if you told her the truth rather than if you just like play it up and say like, oh yeah, like I had a day kind of like James Bond. Guess what I did? You know, it's just like, it's fun instead. Don't think that if you said that, oh, I can't trust her with my work or anything. I'm nowhere near marriage. I'm still in high school. How do you polarize the masculine and feminine energy? You being the alpha and her being the submissive one, staying at home. Yeah, basically just that. Just be masculine, work on your goals. When you go on holiday together, for example, how do you remain the alpha male when most of your time is spent with her? You have more like primal sex and you're just on your normal routine with a little bit more leisure time. Yeah, this is the problem. So when you're living with your girl, or when you, for example, you're staying with her for a few days, she'll then begin to see the kind of man you really are. It's in her mind, when she doesn't know what you're doing, she's playing up the best kind of fantasy when she likes you. When you then live with her because you're on holiday with her or you're staying over, she starts to realize, okay, you are this type of guy. This is the time you go to sleep. You're not like texting any girls beforehand. Obviously, you're not, because that's cheating, but like you're not doing any kind of like dangerous stuff or anything. And so it can be hard, right? I would say whether you're living with your girl or you're on holiday together, do your own thing still. You don't want to be spending 24/7 with your girl. You might believe you do, but that's just like Jeffrey blue pill propaganda. Most men, if they're actually honest, would be happy with like literally 1 to 2 hours with their girl per week of basically just having sex and like just cuddling and, you know, eating something together, and that's it. Most guys would actually be fairly happy with that. So if you go on holiday with your girl, let's say you're sleeping in the same hotel, she wakes up and you're not there. You went for a run at 5 a.m. Suddenly it's like, that's attractive. And you don't even tell her. You come back in. She's like, oh, where did you go? And you just say some like silly shit of like, oh yeah, I saw a dog outside and so I chased it. And yeah, you would never guess the adventure that I've just been on. And you say it like that. And the thing is, she's going to be like, what happened? What happened? Like, make her fucking play like that, bro. Why would you just fucking destroy the fantasy like your little girl's got of you? Would you tell your daughter when your daughter asks like, oh, daddy, what are we going to do today? So at 5 a.m. we're going to do this. And 6 a.m. we're going to do this. And then 7 a.m. we're going to do this. And Hamza's video releases at this time, so I'll go watch Hamza do code. Like, stop being boring as fuck, bro. Disappear for a little bit and then come back as the fucking superhero. She asks you like, oh, where did you go? And you say, oh, there was someone drowning, so I had to go save him. It's just silly as fuck. And she's like, yeah, right. And it's like, she's thinking, what happened? She's thinking, wait, did he just cheat on me? Did he do something else? And then you're present with her. Then you're calm. Then you're comfortable. Then you've invited her. You told her, okay, get ready. You're both wearing sexy clothes and you go for dinner. And she's like, you know, she was a bit thinking like, well, so what did you do this morning? Tell me. You didn't cheat on me. You look at her like, I would not do that to you. with pure certainty, you say that. So she's like, okay, he didn't cheat on me. Then what did he do? Was he speaking to girls? Was he doing this? All you did was like, just go sit downstairs in the hotel and just go play Clash of Clans on your phone or some shit. But like, you want her to fucking believe good things about you, right? So this is the way you do it. So how do you combine both masculinity, your purpose, and time with her so she doesn't get bored of you? Basically that, bro. Go spend time with her when you want to. It might be half an hour a week. It might be like 4 hours a week. Can you make a lecture on the difference between guy friends, chicks, female friends? Yeah, I could do. Yeah, I'll think about that. When a girl cheats on you, did she do it because she's low quality or because you acted like a beta? Both of them. In other words, how do you differentiate when you were cheated on for being a beta or because your girl is a Jessica? It's basically always both of them. If a girl cheats on you, you're a retard because you should have saw the sign to begin with, so that you're on you. But she's also a Jessica, low quality person for cheating. So it's like both of you are just fucking low quality. I feel somewhat overwhelmed with the red pill courses. Find your future wife, find your GF, alpha male sex. Which course should I focus all my attention on, and should I just select what's the most suitable for me? Just go through the red pill one and start with that. You don't need to overthink it. Like, the courses are always there, right? So if you ever feel like, oh man, there's so much to go through, turn your brain off, click on one of the courses, press play, and just watch it. Like, you don't need to go and watch like one module in this one, then one module in this one. Just go finish the red pill course by like tomorrow. That's it. Then you'll get a sense of completion. You'll know loads of things. You can write a community post, ask for advice, start a discussion, and then within a few days, a week, you can start watching one of the other ones. I'd recommend watching a course all the way through without starting another one. I feel women in the modern world often mention things like size doesn't matter. How true is that? It's kind of like them saying like money doesn't matter, but she's always had a relatively like stable life without being broke because her father's paid for shit. So it's like size doesn't matter up until it does. So it technically does. If you like, it's hard to say with sizes, but if your dick's less than like 3 inches erect, you're gonna have a problem. 4 inches is like, okay, she'll consider it small. 5 inches is average, so that's about what the average she's had. 6 inches is like, okay, you're actually doing something. 7 is like basically too big for most girls. So I wouldn't be thinking about this shit. The amount of time I fucking spent. Here's the thing: can you improve it? No. Shut the fuck up. Don't think about it ever again. How can you tell the difference between last minute resistance and her not wanting to have sex with you right now because, let's say, she's a virgin, so she's simply not ready? It's still last minute resistance. I remember reading The Rational Male 3-date rule, saying that if you haven't fucked in 3 dates, she didn't like you as much because she would have fucked the alpha male right away. Is that BS or true to an extent? It's like it's half. It's like, how can you tell the difference between? It's always last minute resistance. Does that make sense? It's if you were pushing towards sex and it seems like it's happening and she's taking her clothes off and you're back in your room, then at that point it's last minute resistance and you don't need to differentiate the difference. It's just like you need to play the game. Sometimes you'll be able to do that push pull thing which I said and be able to still have sex with her. Other times it's too scary for her and you won't even have sex because it's like, she's a virgin and she needs to build up a bit more. Either way, it's basically the same thing. On a macro level, just go and do the same push-pull water bottle trick that I mentioned, where, for example, if she's saying, no, I'm really unsure, I'm not sure if you're going to stay with me, I don't know if I can trust you and stuff, then pull back even further. Maybe then you pull back for a day or two. Like, you don't want to be pushing a girl, especially particularly like a sort of a virgin. Like, you want to be pushing forward, but you don't want to be crossing like rapey lines. 3-date rule is like, this works if you're with a Jessica. Like, basically, if you're with a girl who's fucked before and she's done these things before, fuck that. Fuck waiting, even 3 dates. If a girl has hooked up with a guy before, like on the first date, or she's had hookups before, and you go on multiple dates with her, you're a fucking chump, and that's just disgusting. Imagine like the girl you're with right now, she's literally like been plowed by some guy from Tinder on the same day, and here you are on 3 different dates, like spending 6, 7, 8, 10 hours of your time trying to sleep with her while some other guy got her in 5 minutes. You don't want to live that life. If, for example, she's like a low quality girl and you can clearly see she's a bit of a Jessica, she's hooked up, I'd be like pushing towards same date, like sleeping with her, maybe like 1 or 2 times, fine. But in terms of like a higher quality girl, this could be more like 12 dates. So you need to just use your intuition there to think of like what kind of girl she is. What if she is a high quality woman and wants to remain a virgin until the commitments? Yeah, exactly. That's a good comment there. Yeah, there we go. I swear 99% of this is stop being a bitch, act like alpha. Yeah, exactly. At what point do you keep holding frame with a girl who's shit testing you? How can you tell the difference between a girl that genuinely wants nothing to do with you or a girl that's shit testing you and plays hard to get, but she's building up interest? Honestly, you can't. So you may as well just do the only thing that benefits you, which is to just keep holding frame. Keep holding frame up until the point that you get kind of bored with the girl. So, for example, let's say you go up to a girl and she naturally does not like you. You have the frame that she does. You go up there and your frame's not breaking, but neither is hers. She actually does not like you. You'd be a psychopath if you just kept on trying infinitely, right? There'll be a point when you're just not even enjoying the conversation anymore. At that point, don't break the frame that it's like, oh yeah, I guess she doesn't like me, but rather still hold the same frame, but just be like, okay, I'm kind of bored, so I'm going to go now. So you say goodbye to her, whatever. This way you left with this thing of like, yeah, she liked me, but I didn't really like her. That serves you more. It doesn't ever serve you to think like, oh, does she like me or not? It never serves you. You may as well only have beliefs that serve you. You may as well live like a fucking narcissist because you'll become a winner if you do, basically. So at what point do you keep holding the frame? You always hold frame. Your frame now is that you are such a hardworking, desirable guy that all women think you're hot shit, that every single woman in the world wants to gargle your nutsacks, but they're all just shy and they basically will pretend not to because they don't want to be slut shamed, they don't want to be exposed and stuff because they're intimidated by you, so they'll act like they're not attracted to you. That belief will serve you well. It will serve you so well. So never let go of that belief. But when you get to a point when a girl is constantly like her opinion isn't changing because she in the universal truth isn't actually into you, just don't think, oh, okay, she's not into me, so that's a failure or whatever. Just think to yourself, she's kind of boring, this conversation's boring, I'm leaving. Alpha fucks, beta bucks. You say that you try and fuck her as quickly as possible because you want to be more on the alpha side and she needs to see you. But if a woman is willing to do that for you, is she really wife quality? Well, it's really hard to say. I know that's a really obvious question to answer. The thing is, there's wife quality girls who are literally virgins who will sleep with you on the first night because you are their alpha. Our girl being wife quality does not mean that she'll make her alpha wait. Now, it could do, but it doesn't always have to. So don't think that if she's slept with you, that she has to be low quality. She most likely is. This is the weird exception to the rule type of bullshit. So this is going to be hard for me to explain. If you sleep with a girl on the first night, most likely she's low quality, but it could actually be that she's a high quality girl who just happened to be so fucking into you, which is a rare moment for her, that she couldn't resist because you are the ultimate alpha male. You presented yourself in that way for her. Unlikely, but it can happen. Are you really going to sit there and believe that she hasn't done that with other guys already? But bro, if you take her fucking virginity and she bleeds, then you know that she hasn't. I think a better approach is to make her think you're the alpha, but then to make her work for your sexual attention. This way she craves it more. Not really. Make her think you're the alpha, yes, but at that point, if you're not pursuing it, then suddenly you're not really that guy. So this is why I think it basically always serves you to push forward sexually, even with good quality women, because you always want the woman to restrain you. You always want the woman to need to reel you in. You never want her to think, oh, I'm not sure if he wants to have sex with me. This stuff here of push forward as the alpha, but then don't try to have sex with her. It makes her crave you more. In the real world, that's not what happens. I'm telling you, in the real world, any guys who've been to the club here will tell you, those few moments where you, for whatever fucking reason, say to a girl but I'm not going to sleep with you tonight, her shoulders will go like this. They'll drop down and she'll literally go and choose someone else. Same with the date and everything else. They'll lose instant, because we'll think about what you're really saying. If I was the alpha, I'd want to fuck you, but I've got low testosterone, low sex drive, so I'm not going to get with you tonight. And you can say as cute as you want, oh, I'm not getting with you tonight. I've done it so many times thinking that would be attractive. And every single time that girl ended up basically getting with a different guy and then not getting with me. And they were low quality women, whatever, but it's like, you want to be just pushing as much as you can and her reining you in. And so at that point, if you do have sex with her on the first date, you've got to then consider wait, is she doing this often with guys? Is she low quality? Then we're just basically back to this module here and going through these things. So if, for example, let's say she has almost none of these, like she's just got one, and you slept with her on the first date, you could be thinking, you know what, it's interesting. I slept with her so easily, but she actually doesn't have any of them. That's actually crazy. So maybe, like, literally, she was a high quality girl. I took her virginity on the first date, but only because she actually genuinely sees me as like the fucking alpha. Like, this could be a really good relationship where she was high quality. She wasn't promiscuous before me, but she actually sees me as such an alpha that she was willing to sleep with me. Whereas most like virgin women will want to wait like 10 dates first. So that could be like a hidden, like that's possible. I'm telling you, I've had that experience before as well, where I've had like, literally good quality, wholesome women who don't have most of those promiscuity signs. And I slept with them the first time that I saw them, because when you can show yourself as a certain kind of man, you are just such like just in like you are so desirable to a woman that she's so down to just, she craves you so much. And also you present yourself in this, like, at the same time, this loving, stable way, but you are also this like primal alpha that she can't, like, resist. So it can really happen. So don't think that if you sleep with a girl on the first date that she's not going to be high quality. I think you should always be pushing for that, because let's say if she is a high quality girl, or even if she's not, and she has to kind of rein you in and kind of look to you and say like, nah, we're not going to have sex, whatever. At least it's in her mind to think, oh, he's sexualizing me, he wants to have sex with me. That's a trait of the alpha. If you're going about it in that sort of cute, like that sort of sexy way, obviously don't go about it in the needy kind of sexually like agitated way of like, oh, I'm desperate and stuff, but go about it in the sort of way of like, I want to fuck you. Because even if she says no, she knows that you want to fuck her, which is a good thing. Even if she says yes, and you have sex early, you'll be able to like analyze the situation, and also she'll pair bond with you anyway. So it's kind of like a win-win. I think as a guy on the first date, and just at all times with women, you should certainly be pushing more sexually than you realize. For many of us here, way more. Because if you're trying to do this cute, like, haha, we're both high quality people, I'm telling you, she's going on a date with a guy who's also high quality, but he's sexualizing her. And which guy is more likely to have sex with her and then create that connection? Of course, the guy who's sexualizing her. So you don't want to miss out just because you were too much of a coward to like push sexually, because you had this big brain thing of like, wait, but if I sleep with her on the first date, then that might mean that she's a high quality woman. So if I don't sleep with her on the first date, then maybe she'll fuck me anyway. Like you just, it's too much big brain. Stop brain. You're a man. You want to fuck. Try it. See what happens, assess the situation. Too much brain. This is like most guys' problem out of all of this. Just too much brain. That the modern world has convinced you to act like a pussy, and that's why you've struggled. You're a fucking fighting age, like I was gonna say high T, but like let's say fairly low, but like fairly low T, but high libido, high sex drive man. And most of your problems is just your stupid intellectual brain. It's weird. You're so smart that your brain is so stupid now. That's it. No brain. Me alpha. Dumb yourself down by about 25% when you interact with women, because you've been through so much bullshit conditioning, and it's so annoying that you've had to go through this Hollywood propaganda, feminist propaganda, your parents, your feminist teachers, girls telling you all this shit, the social media posts that you've seen of all this shit. It's the guy who's just fucking relaxed in his masculine, who just acts like a fucking man, who doesn't overthink things, who doesn't like, time how long it took her to reply to the text. He just messaged the girl when he wants to message her. He says the things that he wants to say with her. He has fun with girls, and he has like an amazing like love life, and he has a lot of sex, whilst all us autists here are like constantly analyzing everything. And you know what I mean? So take a step back, just turn your fucking brain off, be 25% more stupid when you speak to a girl, and you'll have a lot more fun, and she'll actually be more into you. When you get to know each other further, yeah, sure, you can show your real intelligence and stuff, but for the attraction phase, you'll do well in just taking off this layer of bullshit that you've had. And I really hope that helps you, because when you get to use this advice, whether you go for a bit more degeneracy or you go for like, good partnership with a woman, you'll start to realize, holy fuck, I missed out on life. This is fucking incredible. Being able to attract women, being able to be the guy who can just speak to women and flirt with them. It's like the instant flow state. We speak about flow state. I said this to my brother, there is no other flow state like just flirting with a girl. There is nothing quite like it, man. Nothing. No, none of this cute, like, oh yeah, I get in a flow state when I script my videos. Shut up, bro. Shut up. Not even close. When you are flirting with a girl and you're good at it, and you're coming across as this red pill guy, and you're seeing that she is getting more and more into you, holy fuck, that is a good moment. A story just came into my mind, which I'll tell you. In 2022, when my channel was popping off, and I felt like, like the sort of new kid in town, and I was like making good money. I was making 10, 20, 30,000 a month. So basically more than like 99% of humanity. I go to this fancy gym, like my gym here, and there was this girl who looks like a bimbo, right? Like fucking big fake titties, fake lips, but like really fucking hot, right? And I'd spoke to her before a little bit, but whatever. And I'm in the sauna and I see her come out in front of me, and she goes over to sort of like the pool, the jacuzzi that we have on the top floor of my gym, and she sits out there. And I'm thinking to myself, like, should I go speak to her? Should I approach? Like, oh no, it's a bit awkward. Like, there's so many other people there as well. There's probably 10 other people in the same pool, and she was like just sat by herself. I was like, nah, fuck it, come on, I'm gonna go alpha mode. So I literally like straightened up my body language, walked into the pool, stood next to her, and I was like, oh hey, and we hugged each other, and I spoke to her for a little bit, and we're just like talking, laughing about stuff. Then I take her from like where we were sat to the edge of the pool, so we're looking out over the view line. She's got fucking sexy titties, everything, right? And I literally look over to her, we're talking and stuff, and then out of nowhere, we both like meet each other's eyes. I've passed shit test after shit test, and we both go in for the kiss. We start making out, and it's like this proper like sexy moments where we're basically like just kind of hooking up in like the fucking pool right there. Like we're almost grinding against each other. I'm like touching her ass and everything. And I remember leaving that day. I didn't even end up having sex with her because it was basically daytime, and like she had like friends downstairs that she wanted to go hang out with, whatever. But we were supposed to meet like after a trip, but that's a separate point. But basically, I remember going home that day thinking younger me would have just died at this moment. Because like I think a lot of men, at least me, have like that kind of dirty fetish for like a bimbo girl with like fake titties and stuff, right? And I just thought like, holy fuck, like I would not have had that experience if I didn't learn these things. Imagine being a chump, the kind of chump who saw her, wanted to speak to her, wanted to have sex with her, but decided to just go home and masturbate instead. I'm glad that I'm not that guy. I'm glad that I don't need to fuck my hand anymore because I've learned how to actually get with girls. And it's a really good experience, whether you're going to be a degenerate or not, whether you're going to get girls or not. Just knowing that you don't have to be the beta male who just jacks off anymore, that's fucking beautiful. Think about what that's going to do for your self-image for the rest of your life. Knowing that like at any given time, you can just go up to 50 girls in one day and you'll have sex with one. Like basically, you now have the power that any day, like 365 fucking days of the year, you could go have sex with a girl if you actually wanted to. You've got it. Go outside and go and get rejected by 50 girls and you'll have sex with one of them. Guarantee it. I've literally given you that power now. So if you're like horny, if you're like, single and you want to get with a girl, it's because you're being a bitch. That's it. Go get rejected by 50 girls, cold approach, act like the alpha, hold frame. Guarantee by number 7 in the first day, you'll have a girl who literally will want to go on a date with you and want to sleep with you and even want a relationship with you. If you get to 50, if you go and speak to 50 girls like this in this sexy kind of manner, not in a cringe, like, oh, hey, like, would you want to have sex with me? But, like coming across sexy, you go to the town center, you've approached like 7 girls there. You go to the gym, you approach 3 girls there. You go somewhere else, you've approached 5 there, right? If you did 50 in one day, guarantee within the 50, if you look good, you lift weights, you've got like good physique, you're attractive, you're sexy, you're speaking like this, you're holding frame, it'd be realistic to think one of those girls would want to fuck you in public, like from where you're stood. It's not unrealistic to literally think that when you use these strategies. I know that seems unrealistic. The more that you use these strategies, you're going to realize, holy fuck, I have the power. No brain. No brain. Whatever fucking excuses are popping into your mind right now, no brain. Turn them off. Turn them all off. Just turn off all of that bullshit. No brain. Follow the advice that I've given in here. Add up a solid 25-50% more red pill to your personality, and you're going to be so fucking glad you did, because you're going to look back at this point months from now and remember that this is where your red pill trajectory really fucking went up, and you're like, holy fuck, it actually worked. I've got an abundance. I've got 2 girls who I'm actively having sex with. It's fucking awesome. I'm glad that you went through this course. I'm glad I got to distill this advice that I learned over a long time for you. So I hope you found a lot of value there. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.